Hello, 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 everyone. Normally, I schedule my lives. Normally, I do lots of fancy things, but still having tech issues, uninstalled, reinstalled, still tech issues. So hopefully, you can actually hear me. Um, I may just need quickly to check what is actually used for my information here. I hope you can hear me at least. Um, I thought I had. That's general informations. Please tell me you can hear me. um, because right now I am not 100% sure. It should be connected at least. Um, I just didn't get my option to. Oh, that's sweet. Hey, Megan. Hey, Megan. Wonderful to see you. I'm just trying to get a hold of everything because the thing is, normally, as I said, it's looking much different. That was mute, so that function I definitely shouldn't use. So I'm just using this basic YouTube setup, basically, and running it via that. Because OBS is still refusing to work on my computer. I am either debating if it's an OBS issue or if it's my computer saying I'm giving up. Needless to say, then I tried Streamlabs, which is basically a collaboration with OBS, and that gave me similar issues. So either it is something in the back end of the updates they did, or it's simply my computer saying, I'm done, I need renewal. And then, well, then we're going to be on this basic stream version until I have my new computer, which is going to be sometime next year. That's just how it's going to be. But I will keep checking for updates. It would be really, really nice if we actually got an update. But it doesn't look like it, unfortunately. So I did say yesterday that I wanted to first keep my schedule on stream Friday. But I changed that scheduling due to the very simple fact that it came better out today. After we closed down the stream yesterday, I checked scheduling with my partner, and he was like, yeah, apparently last week when we were away, they agreed to a company dinner. And so I'll stay there after work, and I basically get to do my own dinner, and then I'll see him sometime tonight because he goes straight from work to a meeting afterwards, which was also planned. So basically, I'll see him sometime later tonight. So we'll end the stream when I get hungry and need to cook dinner, because I also have a meeting tonight, which I already knew in advance. But that's absolutely fine. That's the plan. So what did I reach to do? I didn't reach to work further on Fleur last night. I did, meanwhile, because I did have a short moment, reach to finish one of these granny squares that I'm working on. So I have this granny, and I have 3 more, and I need to make 3 more of them, and they will be sewn together and be the preparation for my tote bag. It's really nice. I totally agree. It's also quite simple to do. So in the center, we have here 12 double crochets, or well, technically you have a chain and then you have 11 double crochets, but it makes 12. Then afterwards, you work in between stitches 2 single crochets all the way around. Then you work in 4 treble crochets together. So the first of them, you do chain 4, and then you work 3 treble crochets together together with that chain 1, the chain. and then you chain 4 in between. You work another 4 treble crochets, chain 4, 4 treble crochets, and the treble crochets will work together. So basically you don't do the last pull through before you kind of go on to the next. So in the end you pull through like 5 loops. Then when that all the way is round, you chain up for a half double crochet, and then you start by doing one of those, and then you'll do chain 1, and then it's 5 half double crochets at the start. No, well, it looks like I did start it differently though. No, it's because I'm working that way around. That's why it's looking weird from this side. So you chain 1, and you work 4 half double crochets, chain 1, 2 half double, 2 double, 2 treble, chain 3, 3 treble, 2 double, 2 half double, chain 1, 4 half doubles, chain 1, 2 half doubles, 2 doubles, 2 trebles, chain 3, etc. Right? And then the last row is just single crochets in the chain spaces and in each stitch. And that gets you this. It is definitely gorgeous. I like the colors. I did carry the yarn in between, so I didn't have to weave in extra ends because the color changes are like row 1 and row 3 is the same, and the row 2, 4 and 5 is the same color. Anyhow, we're here for Fleur. And I hope more people will be peeking in, of course. As I said, it is absolutely not normal for me to stream on a Thursday. But I ended up deciding this Thursday would be better than Friday, because Friday I have a bunch of stuff on my to-do list. And today I just had more flexibility to easily stream. I also do have a parcel arriving today, and I'm not really sure when. But I kind of hope they actually come with the same courier, which is going to be sometime between now and the next, I think, 2 hours. But let me just actually quickly check, because if it's within the next half an hour, I don't know how well I should place myself here. Well, it's within the next hour, technically, according to this. I assume, so I have 2 parcels coming. I have a Christmas present coming in, and I have my own Christmas present. And it says it's going to be here between like now and the next 40 minutes. And let me check the other one. Because they do come with the same courier, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they come with the same car. I am talking of experience here, but by the looks, they did put it on the same car, which at least somebody had sense at some stage. So we'll see how far we get, and then I will have to have a short break, which means that you get to look at my poor background, because I don't have break music to play for you either. Else, the whole thingy is obviously not working as it's supposed to normally. Oh, but I can put the, oh, no, not that one. This window I can close down, and then we'll pop you guys down to Fleur. I just need to figure out where my working site is. That's about here. And then we'll see how quickly I can put it away without throwing all my yarn on the ground when the courier comes. But here we have Fleur, and as I said, I do, oh, that sounds horrible. I have to have it on my lap like this because it's so big. You know, that's the only way I can actually control it. Oh my goodness, I got this yarn on the wrong side. Like that was better. Then I just need to find this one that goes on this side. Oh, have way too much yarn. It feels like it, at least. Hopefully this has it under control. I thought I had it detangled, but evidently I didn't. I also need to find the pattern. So I was just trying to see if I could find another stream software quickly on the go, and it could probably have worked, but end conclusion, we would fight too much, and it didn't work. This is round 116. If I'm crocheting any Christmas presents this year, well, they are actually already finished. One was finished in the spring, not that I knew it was going to be a present, and others were finished this autumn. It's just small presents this time around, and I will be sharing them in a little video on the channel, but I will first share them after the recipients has unpacked them, because I don't want to spoil the surprises. Obviously, that is no fun. So I don't want to ruin the surprise, because the thing is, I know that some of my family are watching my streams, and maybe this particular family that's receiving them may not be watching, but they could as well be watching. And if they are, I don't want to spoil the surprise of unpacking something that's personally made. So one of them was decided to become a present. That was not the original intent. But in hindsight, I think it's a good idea. And the others, I did actually work with the idea of making them into presents. So that's not like a big surprise, if that makes sense. But sometimes we just have projects that turns out to be great ideas for presents. It's just how it is. Sometimes the most perfect thing can become a present. Last year I gave away a green shawl to a friend because it was a birthday, and we were invited to the housewarming party. They had just moved, and the shawl was perfect for her because it was matching her name. Because her surname basically translates into the green, which is directly the translation into the green, or in the green. So of course she had to get a green shawl. And when I made it, I definitely didn't think about her or her birthday. It just happened to still be in my stash, and I happened not to use it, and I happened to think that was actually a good idea. And she got quite happy for it. So sometimes, things are just going to be right. And the same goes for this present. I most definitely did not have this recipient in mind when I made it. But I hope she will be happy with it. It's more like, the bonus presents, if that makes sense. Two, 4, 6, 8. I've also very much been debating on if I should maybe start donating a few of the things I've made to shelters and so on. It's not necessarily very warm here, so some people could definitely use a little bit of gifting. Or 5. That is, it's just something that's in my mind. That could be an option for some of my projects. But yeah. This blanket, though, is not going to be a present. That is going to be a keeper. Because all the work I've put into it, well, if it's going to be a present, it's definitely going to be a gift of love. But I won't reach to have it finished for Christmas either, because Christmas is literally just around the corner, friends. Like, genuinely, it's just around the corner. If you haven't noticed, it's just literally around the corner. Like, it's scary close. Hello, Hella, great to see you. Hope you're still doing well. My mom asked me for a Dog Mosaic crochet blanket for a birthday in March. I have to go get a move on it. Yes, I will very much recommend you that. I see that the courier is here, so I'm just prepping myself to run to the courier when he calls. Hang on, my friends. I'll be back. I'm back. I just need to get my blanket wrapped around me. Hello again today, Susan. Yeah, my Christmas present is in. Yay! My own Christmas present for myself. Got some stuff. Not for crocheting though. But I'm a slightly bit curious of the exact contents, though I should know it since I bought it myself. But yeah, I want to see. It is it's some stuff for my other hobbies. Oh. And then I received another parcel, but I'm not going to show that one here. Why do people have to do this so well when they... Oh, my goodness. I don't get that. Like, please make it possible for me to untangle, please. Invoice, awesome. I need to pay for it, obviously. Ooh, that's a nice one. I see candies also. And bubble wrap, just for, I guess, whoever's bored. This is a Christmas present worthwhile. It's from Lindor. Double chocolates, salted caramel chocolate, and pure. Nice. Sweet. That's all. So this is basically just some aluminium stuff for, in this case, it's actually for my rifle to kind of hold things and pieces together. So, and then some pins to help with my new racing blocks, which you barely can see when they're in here, of course, but you would have no idea what it is regardless. Oh my goodness, it makes noise. But basically it's blocks we can use to extend our sight line. So it's a sight line extension. I would have loved to have had this yesterday, but it's good. I have it now. Plus, I have chocolate. That's almost the best part of it. And I need to pay it, so there's an invoice. Anyhow, we came from Fleur, and now I know more parcels is coming today. I got them all, unless there's a surprise one coming, but I don't think so. I don't think we have any surprise ones. I just need to untangle this one a bit like that. Should have no surprise ones coming, but everything was in the parcel and it arrived safely, which I'm happy about. Exactly what I ordered. So yeah, I do have obviously plans for giving a few crochet pieces away, but it's not that many. It's not that many. But yeah, to get back on that one, Megan, I would definitely get a go on that. I don't know what sort of dark mosaic that you would like. I do know that Hobby has a few free patterns. I think they have like a Labrador or Dachshund alike one, which is also sort of mosaic. If you need some inspiration, though it's not Overlay Mosiac like this one, I think. Regardless, for March, I wouldn't do anything like that. Knowing how slow I work on projects like this, that would sort of just not be an option. It's valid to say the sizing of this is just like basically single crochets. And now I don't know what's up with my do you still hear me? I hope you do. I do hope you do. I am just gonna get myself some music in the background here. I have this idea that Christmas music is perfect. So here we go. I guess. But nothing is happening. Did it power off? It did power off. Okay, we are retrying. Oh my crickets. Good. I have music in my ears. It's still, you know, my streaming software still crickets. Okay. Darling Dachshund Mosaic blanket by Emily Designs is the blankets. Darling Dachshund Mosaic. I really miss my OBS. Because I could have like shared and searched. But now I can't. Maybe I can, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm good. Go away, ads. Crochet along pattern. Oh, that's gorgeous. Let's see if that's actually going to work. Let me try this. If you can see this, maybe. I don't know if you can. Nope. Ah, I see. Right. Nah. So like this, which is like not ideal, but it works. So here we have the blanket. It's gorgeous. That's more like real mosaic, but it's side to side. That's side to side. You got the kit from the wool warehouse. Okay. Coolio. And definitely we have our prayers to Hele. They are always needed and useful. It's been rough days. And she's generally such a champion and star with how she's handling this. But you know, I guess I don't know if sometimes it's the people that's you're connected to that's more affected than yourself, because reality, you can't do much about the situation except hope for the best. 6, 8. But yeah, so as I said, the original plan was to stream tomorrow. I will not be streaming tomorrow because the whole schedule kind of got rescheduled, basically. Long story short, is that I could originally maybe have streamed equally long, or maybe half an hour longer today than Friday originally. But then I was told by my partner that he had an appointment at his work. And then I was like, so he's not coming home for dinner. He's not coming home after dinner. He's first coming home after his meeting, which is like later that evening. So I'll just hang around until I get hungry and want to cook some dinner. And I think I'm going to have an asparagus soup because I have a creamy one in the cupboard. I just need to heat that one up. And then I am going to make some fried veggies and like 1 or 2 scrambled eggs together with it. And that's it. Just to keep it simple. So that's going to be my dinner. So that is basically the reason for not streaming tomorrow, but instead I decided I'll hang around today. Because it just suddenly came better out last night. And meanwhile, I also tried to sort new streaming software, but that definitely did not work. I had similar issues. So bottom line is it could be my computer and its graphic card that's starting to say it's not finding it very fun. It is clearly, when I do the direct streams from the back end, much more kind to me. Actually, I think even somehow I have the idea that the light is even better somehow. I don't know. I wonder if is this default? Yeah, that's default. That's better, I think. Yeah. So we'll just chip along here. I didn't cake up my yarns yet, but I did find the next colors, so I have them here next to me. I thought I would have time to cake them up, but reality is I didn't. I was trying to see if I could sort the different stream software for easiness and smoothness, but, well, no. Not much I can do about it. I do not have many streams left before the new year either, so I'm probably going to spend Christmas looking on computers to see what I want. And I need to be prayerful and mindful when I'm doing that also, because I need to make sure it's a computer I can bring with me work-wise. I need to make sure it's having the Danish keyboard for, let's say that I lose my job, then I may need to go back being a freelancer, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I do love the flexibility of it. But it will force me to, yeah, it will force me um, to yeah, to do different work and find different works and so on, and we'll take it as it comes. Two. So now the real question is that double crochets and then a single? I think it is. It is, yes. So that's what we'll do. The other side also went so easy, so yeah. So I fear that Revenant won't reach to see us today because he thinks I'll first be there tomorrow, but I'm sorry then in that case. I did warn you all in the beginning of December that my December is a crazy month, so I can't really predict how, when, what. Well, it just happened to come out better today. And then this is also my last live before Christmas. I am sorry, my friends, but I won't reach to do anything until after Christmas again. I do prepare a few videos. On Sunday, we have another sort my stash future project video in the sense of, and the yarns I've sorted and sort my stash, I've already added those to Ravelry. And I was thinking, as we go through the yarns, maybe I could sort of make a summary on how much yarn was added to my Ravelry. I don't even know. Can you actually see what's in other people's stash on Ravelry, or only if they have it for sale? I don't know. I don't know. In that event. But I'm definitely looking forward to get it fully updated there and see how that is going to go. But that, as I said, is going to be a full project for next year. So far, it's just been adding the ones we have talked about. And we'll base it off there. Some of it may be used before then, of course, but I'll try to keep it updated in my best way possible way. And with a bit of luck, all the projects planned will take me so much time that I can reach to get all the videos done. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so we are like halfway through this side, which is the second of the 4. So there is still a bit before we pick back up the teal, or actually I should say petrol. And then we need to do one more round of cream. And then we can pop into the greens. And this, my friend, is the green. And right now it's a bit darker on screen than it is in reality. But that is, if I don't do that, my hands go completely brighty. It's more like a really, sorry. It's more like an emerald green, but it doesn't show like that on the screen. I'm sorry. The colors are discolored due to light. Come on. So it's another 2.5 rounds before I need the green, and we won't reach that here during this live. I know that for a fact, because I know how long it takes to get there, but I will have to get there soon. So I should definitely prepare it later today and get it caked up. Then we also have the bottle green, which probably looks black on the screen if I pick it. I don't know. So this is supposed to be like an emerald green. And then you have here the bottle green. And oh my goodness, when I compare them like this on the screen, that looks so weird. It looks like the real green here is more like a teal color, and the bottle green is more like a dark green, which is a dark green. I think the bottle green is pretty closer to its color than the other one. So what I could do is I could do the default setting shortly. That would be more like this. But it's still not completely because it's much brighter. It's really more like an emerald green. I don't know why. Light, my friend. It's the light. I need to, I don't know. Maybe I should. I thought when I got this webcam that was a good webcam, but sometimes I'm not really sure when I see how it disturbs light. Another thing for my wish list. I could use a webcam. Different webcam, maybe. I've also been looking for a potential smaller camera, and then I've been thinking about getting back into tutorials. But it's just, you know, on my mind. I didn't practically get there yet. I probably need to sort that stash first, which is semi-sorted, but we should go through it and see what I actually have. Hey, Revenant 2468. I am sorry that I didn't keep scheduling because I know I said I was going to go live tomorrow, but I had to switch the 2 days because, well, today was just much more convenient for me. Because apparently I'm home alone. And I am going to be home alone until tonight sometime, probably like 10 or 11 p.m.-ish. In between, I need to cook some dinner and have a meeting and so on. But I'm not as bound to schedules as I normally am. So, like, you know, if we decide to crochet half an hour longer than normally, you know, I can do that without being like, oh my goodness, dinner won't be ready on time. because it's my belly deciding when it's dinner time and not when my partner is home from work. The world of crochet is your oyster. Yeah, you could say that. 4, 6, 8. So yeah, I decided I should hang out with you guys instead. And then tomorrow I'll have all the extra time there to get the last things sorted. So tonight after dinner, I will wrap some presents and I'll then attend the meeting. And I'll cake up some yarn. 2, 4, 6, 8. The only thing I'm debating is if I need to make like a solid border around it afterwards, if I would have yarn enough for that. I don't know. Because I have the feeling that I'll still have way more teal left once I'm done with the next row of teal, but I don't know. So yeah, and we are still on the back end. I tried using another streaming software, but apparently I think it's too close to Streamlabs. It decided to do similar errors. And I could also import my Streamlabs, not my Streamlabs, my OBS settings to Streamlabs. It's sort of a collaboration between the two. Well, it showed similar issues. So maybe it's my graphic card saying, okay, I am outdated, which wouldn't be impossible if that's the case. My laptop is more than 5 years old, so, or around 5 years old. So what I need is a new, which I knew already, also because of how it's acting with its battery and stuff like that. You know, right now it is on power, but I'm quite sure if I pull the power plug, it will tell me that it has power, and then suddenly it will say, yeah, you have 5 minutes left to fix me, or it's just shutting down. So I definitely need a new one, and that is the highest listed on the priority on new acquisitions next year. Because I need that for lots of things, obviously. So yeah, that is my goal for. Yeah, I'll be looking at computers at Christmas probably, being like, could this be an option? Could this be an option? Could this be an option? And then I need to also, you know, the challenge is I live in the Netherlands. I need to find a company that's selling a keyboard with a Nordic layout. Because Nordic layout keyboard is, we have a few extra buttons, plus some buttons is placed differently. And therefore, well, I type quicker on a Nordic because that's what I'm grown up with. And also due to the 3 extra letters the Danish alphabet has, I need the Nordic. One thing is to find a reseller that sells Nordic computers with Nordic layouts. A different thing is then to find one that's willing to sell it on a business-to-business delivery basis to the Netherlands. But I'll probably find out something. 2, 4, 6, 7. We are almost done with this side. So yeah, so therefore, henceforth, I decided to go live today because my partner had different plans. 2, 4, 6. So tomorrow is just gonna be a no video day. And next week, so I'll first be live again after Christmas after this. And I may test for funsies how or if there's a new update for OPS by then. But I have a feeling that is not going to be the case. But if it is the case, then we'll try to see if it works. And if it doesn't, then it's just going to be it. And then I'll hope that I can get a new computer as quick as possible. And until then, you are stuck with me in basic mode. But most of us, we are also just here for the chit chatter and banter, right? And therefore, I'm going to say, don't forget to hydrate. If you haven't grabbed your coffee or your tea yet, now that's definitely the time. It's slowly drinking temperature. I just boiled it before starting the stream. This is how good this mug is. And that still remains one of the best presents I ever got. I got it as a birthday present. I wished for it because I could use it very well for work, and it definitely was a great investment. I got it in January, I think 2022. And it's still going strong. Wouldn't say I'm using it daily, but I'm using it very close to daily. Obviously, if I'm not home, I'm not always bringing it. Sometimes I do bring it along, but not always. Two, 4, 5. Should be 6, I believe. Crickets. Okay, made a mistake. I should have made the single crochet one more because there's only 5 here, which means that I'm happy I see it now and not next row, because then I couldn't fix it without frocking a long way back. This was like, I don't know, 20 stitches maybe at best. Try imagine, because there's 231 stitches in this on each side, so that's more than 900 stitches in the round. Try imagining frocking 900 stitches back. Oh my goodness, I'd be crying. And I don't have time for it. Bye, Susan. I wish you a Merry Christmas too. My next live will be likely between Christmas and New Year's. It's my estimate. I don't know if it's going to be the Monday or the Tuesday yet after Christmas, but one of those 2 days. 4. So Merry Christmas to you. And of course, I do have the 4th of Advent coming up on Sunday. And I will be sharing the Christmas presents and that's going to be before I pack them up. So I have to pre-record that maybe either later today or maybe just tomorrow afternoon. I'll have to check what's fitting better in the schedule. To show you guys those makes that I'm gifting for Christmas. And then And then there's a little bonus one on the sorting aspects. And then we'll go live. Then we need to make a summary of, did I succeed decreasing my stash? That's not going to be a question though. It's going to be close. It's a close race compared to the yarn I obtained this year, that is. I think it's going to be a close race. I may use up more on my trip Christmas to Denmark because I'll be definitely doing something in the car. I just haven't completely decided what I'll bring along with me. I have been debating on the bag, the new Daisy Days bag that I'm working on, and that's the one I mentioned in the First of Advent movie. And I did start on it. And I'm halfway in the granny square section. Then they need to be sewn together and you need to kind of crochet the bag around them. But yeah, that is one thing. And then I may just, you know, the scrap yarns I have or the mill ends I have from Ice, which I made the red ripknit beanie. I may bring that with me to make another one. Because the thing is, this yarn, I don't know what to use it for. So, but I also find it a bit on the, well, it's not bad. It's just not as soft as I would feel comfy charging for it. So I might just end up donating those, being a generous soul. You know, it's still my effort donating. But it could also be it's not too bad because, as I mentioned in the video of showing those beanies, is that I am going to upsize from 7 to 8 millimeters on the next ones. And maybe that's going to make them soft or maybe not, but it's worth a shot. And if it's not, then, well, I guess they're just going to be donation pieces. So that's my thinking right now. But anyhow, that will be some yarns used and gone and dusted from the stash. So that's positive. Gotta look at the bright side of life. And we're back to the Monty Python we talked about yesterday. Anyhow, this is going good. I could also bring the other knitting project with me, the new one. Though I don't know, I somehow feel that it makes more sense to get this one done. I could also consider donating the yarn. They have one of these value stores where you can get the value yarns. They also actually accept yarn donations there. And that then goes to activity centers and, you know, elderly people and stuff like that. To get turned into projects. but I feel it makes more sense to just use it because, you know, it teaches me and improves my knitting skills. At least I choose to believe that's the case. And I still want them to improve, actually. I don't know if I could find a pattern for chunky yarn that would maybe work up nicely, even if double-stranded, but in the same color. Because I also want to learn the cable aspects of knitting. Has nothing to do with crochet, I get that. But like, I'd like to learn. Because I still have this sweater that I have this dream to knit at some stage. It's not even a sweater, it's more like a t-shirt actually. Does anyone here else have plans for the weekend? Do you have weekend plans? My weekend plans consists of, I should definitely visit the fitness center. I haven't done that since before I left. And I knew that was going to be a tough one in December. And then, well, I need to do some laundry. I need to make sure everything is ready and packed, I think, for Denmark. And I need to visit my in-laws Saturday. Because normally we would do that today, but that got cancelled due to whatever my partner has at work. So we'll extend the visit Saturday and do a bit longer of a visit, also because we're not there for Christmas. And then it's going to be crochet for some of the time. Definitely. I hope to make headway on Fleur here because of the days where I'm not going to be here. Technically, I am behind. Well, not completely. If we look at the days left for Christmas, not for Christmas, for New Year's, has 13 days until New Year's Eve, until and with New Year's Eve, based on the calendar and schedule and date we have here currently at the time of streaming, Central European time, 18th of December, plus 13 days is 31st of December. Good. I am working on row 116 out of 129. That means that I have 13 rows to go because 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 13. Which means that I need to finish this row plus one row, and then I'm status quo doing full round a day. But there are 4 days next week where I'm not going to be home. I need to make up for that. And tomorrow, we're out for Christmas dinner, and I have to work all day, so I am trying my best to potentially make up for that a little bit now and this weekend. And if I can't do that, then I'm still optimistic that we can have this one finished for New Year's Eve. That would be so cool. to actually show the end result of this. My goodness, in the first Yarn Talk video in January. Yes, please. Rabbit says, I have a Christmas party this evening. Other than that, no plans. Wasn't that with your stitching group, if I remember right? I have a feeling it's with your stitching group. Yes. Oh, I remember right. Sweet peas. So you're going to be crafting as well while there, or is it just mainly just, you know, enjoying yourself on some food? Which, by the way, is a very valid reason to enjoy yourself. You know, food is always good. We'll need to show up early and stay a bit late to move tables around. That makes good sense. There's no stitching group here. I need to make my own. That said, I realized that one of my shooting colleagues actually do some crafting. So I looked at her and I said, oh, maybe we should, like, once in a while, have our own small little stitching group and we could help one another. Though I do have the feeling I may be a little bit more skilled than her, but regardless, it could be nice, you know, like a cup of tea and just hanging around. Very much open for that concept. It would be nice. But I'm really challenged when it comes to stitch names in Dutch. It's one of the few men and also one of the few sub 60-year-olds in the group. Yeah. So you need to definitely help with the heavy lifting then. So both crocheting and knitting has gotten much more popular in Denmark over the last few years. I think really with the COVID, it sort of reflourished, reblossomed. And as I said, I'm really keen on making more of my own things. And what won't make my own things, I'm definitely just gonna redistribute. But you know, I really should get going on that. Could also use a mannequin, but it takes up so much space. I feel I need to clear out other storage first before considering getting one of those. There's also a big Gen Z push for handmade things, kind of backlash to all the everything. Yeah, you know, this concept of renewable things, take better care of stuff, you know. It's the same as, you know, I remember when I was younger, it felt more shameful using secondhand stuff than it does today. But also when I was really young, it didn't feel that shameful either. I didn't think about it. Like, my parents didn't have an awful lot of money when I was a child. They weren't broke. We did not have shortcomings in that sense, but they did have to mind how they spent the cash. So yes, I still got presents for Christmas and stuff like that. But it was, you know, sometimes it was a bit more useful things you would get. So there was more, yeah, you know, the purchase power was a bit different, especially when my dad had a period where he was unemployed. My mom has been so lucky and amazing that she started as an apprenticeship as a bookkeeping with the company where she worked at. And she worked there until she went on retirement from her apprenticeship until she left for retirement, which made that she worked there for more than 45 years. And that is impressive on its own, right? But my dad has had multiple different employers. Like, I stopped counting even when I was a child. And there was definitely periods where there was less cash to use. But so I inherit, and also my mom had a colleague, and she had a daughter as well. And she was like a year and a half older than me. So when she grew out of things, my mom would receive a bag of clothes, and we would go through it together. And I could say if I liked it or not. So if I didn't like it, I wasn't forced to wear it, but I had the like first pickings, so to say. So if I liked it, I would keep it and I would wear it, and I would never think about, oh, it's inherited. For me, it was like normal. I would also get it from my cousin. She was like 3 years older than me. And then I think in the beginning, or end 90s, beginning 2000s, people really started to, not appreciate recycled or secondhand. And now we are back in appreciating this. And I personally try to use my clothing. Either I'll recycle it when it doesn't fit anymore. But if it fits, I'll just keep wearing it until it falls apart. Technically seen, like I'll wear it out. And I have the same with my electrical devices. Like I had to get a new phone because my old phone decided that batteries slowly starting to be an issue and so on. And the same with the computer now. It's telling me it's time to get replaced. And not because I want the latest and the newest, but because it's time. And I think that is a really, really nice thing to do, to not create this consumer environment. Like it's okay to buy brand stuff or expensive stuff or whatnot, but use it until it's no longer usable, right? Like get the life out of it. That's what I tend to believe. So I'm trying the best to get life out of the things I have. That said, recently, this year actually, I did go through some of my items and I donated them to my mother. My mom is now wearing some of my old clothes because I can't fit them anymore because my ass is too big, and she lost an awful lot of weight so she can fit my clothing for when I was a bit skinnier. So of course I asked if she was interested, and she was like, "Yeah, why not?" So she got it. It makes good sense. I never thought it would have to go that direction. And then when I was home last time, she had a pair of trousers that I could fit perfectly and that she's barely used because, well, she got them when she was a bit skinnier, and then I guess she lost weight and didn't use them much either. It was, yeah, I don't know, but I have them now and they're sitting well. So yeah, of course, why wouldn't I keep them? And the win-win side here, which is totally impressive, I didn't have to shorten the legs. I always have to shorten legs when I buy trousers because they're always too long for me. Buying for the purpose as opposed to consuming for its own sake. Exactly. We need to buy on purpose. We need to be mindful of what we do and use the things until it's, because this fast fashion concept of Shane and all those, it's not good for the environment, right? The amount of clothing that gets recycled is increasing, and a lot of this is also from these cheap brands like Shane. And then, of course, what a lot of people don't consider is that they are filled with stuff as well, which is not necessarily healthy either. They tested some of the clothing from, let's say, Shane, Temu. Temu also sells some clothes, right? And they find that in 90% of the clothes bought here on these websites does not meet the EU standards and requirements. So they have unhealthy things in them, basically. But that would definitely give me a second thought. Yeah. So let's go back into crafting our own. I am very keen on the thought to, I still want to make myself another poncho in a different shape. This one is really nice, but it's a purchased one. It would be really nice to like craft my own. And I have a really nice one in the alpaca, Wheels of Alpaca. Or it's technically it's a flower, alpaca flowers, but which is really nice, but it's not like on the side aspect, it doesn't cover enough of my arms. It's nice on the shoulders, it's nice on the front and back, almost a bit too long on the front and back, but it doesn't cover my arms well enough. So I actually want to take measurements of the black poncho I have, which is also a purchased one, and see if I can design something that could fit along those lines. That would be awesome. That is my little dream. And then, of course, I have all the sweaters I want to knit, t-shirts, scarves, I don't know, whatnot. Hats. Two, 4, 6, 8 fits or summy. Anyhow, I have a little bit left. So I have these stitches left, plus this side. And then I'm sort of caught up. Then I'm having the exact amount of rows left as I have days left this year. Ideally, I wouldn't need to spend too much time on New Year's to crochet. So we still have lots to catch up on because, as I said, also 4 days here in this year that I am away for Christmas. To do. And in between, I definitely have planning to do. I also need to check that I indeed have all and everything I need for Christmas, all the presents, 2, 4, 6, 8. I think I have most of it. It might be just one tiny thing. That's 5. Then we need 4 and a corner. And I did it right this time around. No frocking. Sweet. I really also don't have time for frocking. No frocking, please. I have to say I've gotten better working on this compared to what I was while multitasking. I did spot one mistake, but I fixed it in a creative way. And I'm not sure if I can find the spot again. So it's been that well fixed. Well, that well creatively fixed. So that was a corner. 2, 4. Though I need to make 5. Well, technically I need to turn the work around, but let's just quickly finish these 5 double crochets. And then we get to do some work flipping. Then, my friends, once that is complete, we are heading into the petrol again. Last row of petrol, unless I make different calculations. But I'm not sure. Because I have this idea it would be nice with a border. And not just like etched like this. And it looks like it's etched like that, so. Oh, choices to make. Because I have the feeling I would have enough yarn to do it, maybe. What color is this one actually ending on? So we are on 16. It's ending on a solid. It's ending on a solid color. It looks like that's just how it's ending. Without an edge. Seems weird. Okay. I'll have to say it's probably also not. I don't know if it's even easy to consider making an edge on this. Probably also be fine without. But somehow it just feels it would make sense to make like maybe single crochet or double crochet edge around in a solid color. And then also going through both of the stitches rather than just either back loop or front loop. But I don't know. Oh, no. I'm too quick here. It's me thinking about edges. Two, 4, 6, 8. Sweet. And then we'll need to do 5. So you could probably get you a little bit more like that. But yeah. Do. Dun, dun, dun. I am listening to Christmas music, to be honest, on my little headset. And it's kind of nice. But I guess it's because there's something cozy about Christmas. I also need to pack some of my business to bring with me because my cousin has requested hearing protection. So I should definitely bring that with me. Doesn't look like we're going to have a white Christmas this year. It's pretty warm, to be honest, outside. You're going to have white Christmases? And don't forget to hit those thummies. Do please like this stream, because it would be so nice to have new friends. It helps me and helps you getting new friends. But as said, are you likely to get white Christmas this year? By the looks, I don't think we will, because it's way too warm. And maybe that's due to global warming, who knows? But it's not really granted that you get white Christmas either, I feel. Generally, it's not granted that you get a white Christmas. It's not impossible, but it's maybe once every, I don't know, 10, 15 years at best. So it doesn't look like we'll have one this year. Then I would have to go further up north. And if you look at where Denmark is located geographically, we are technically far up north enough to be considered a place that has a really large chance of white winters. But due to the Gulf Stream, we are actually having a reasonably temperate climate. Like, it's quite nice. It's nice tempered. I did watch a documentary about changes, and that's like, you know, with the ice melting on the North Pole and stuff like that. South Pole for that matter too, but mainly North Pole, because the North Pole is heating up quicker than ever before, and the Gulf Stream depends on basically water streams, and apparently too much salt water affects the stream, and it's likely to change, but they can't really predict how. But one thing is for certain is if the Gulf Stream stops running towards Europe from the Caribbeans, we in Northern Europe are likely to get colder winters. But also it's said that these changes also impact high pressure weather systems, weather fronts on Greenland. And if Greenland has more high pressure weather fronts, it's likely to become drier and warmer in Scandinavia. So I guess, I don't know. And the real question is, how much can we impact? And then we can go back to this consumer thing. What degrades, what doesn't degrade. Technically, we should all sit and work with woolen fibers from sheep and, all natural fibers. We should not consider acrylics. And here I am, a bad person, because I am working with an acrylic yarn right now. Because it's technically just plastic. And plastic doesn't degrade. Then what? Are we then bad people, or I don't know. I can't find out what seems to be the logic reasoning. I guess it all has its purposes. We just need to be mindful on how we dispose of it. In the Netherlands, we do pay to get our garbage emptied. So but we also have garbage sorting systems. That means that we sort glass, we sort, it's called PMD, but it's basically plastic, metal, and I'm unsure what the D stands for. Lids, maybe? Textiles? Good to see if there's a good translation to this. Yeah. Oh, of course. Drinking cartons, like what you have milk in and so on. So drink containers for milk, for example. It's also special cotton / it's a plastic layer often on the inside to make sure it keeps the milk in the container. We collect those because that's actually free. So we have these specific plastic bags I can pick up at the municipality office. And then I fill them with plastic. So all sorts of plastic materials. For example, the Bubble Plus I just received in the mail, I could put in there. Plastic from a round yarn when I receive yarn. Shipping plastics, these shipping bags I could put in there too, because it's also a kind of plastic, etc. And then that plastic will be taken to a plastic specific recycle facility that recycles the plastic. And I think the issue is in nature right now is also, as much as there is really, this is wrong. Yeah. One back, one frog. That we need to consider all aspects of the process, right? It would be awesome if plastic could go into a sort of a closed system where it could be 100% recycled and does not end up in nature. Do we have somebody who would even be able to invent something like that? And technically it won't happen because we do have these humans in between who buys a bottle of whatever to drink, and they actually just don't give a crap, and they just throw it away when it's empty because they don't want to carry it around. And technically it's even worth money, because if we just say it's a bottle of Coke, huh? It's a small bottle of Coke, and we actually pay a small fee to the store for bringing the bottle out, and we will get that money back when we bring the bottle back into the store. That's called, in Danish it's called pet, and in Dutch it's called statiegeld. Hello, Gloria. Wonderful to see you. I hope you're having a great morning. We are just rambling on about, I guess, everything and nothing. So that basically means if I buy a small bottle of Coke, or water for that matter, or Fanta, I'll pay like 15 cents to take the bottle with me out of the store. And I only get those 15 cents back if I bring the bottle back to the store for recycling. But apparently the money there is too small for people to actually care, because there's still a lot of people who's just throwing away the cans. It goes for cans as well. A can of soda is worth like 15, 20 cents. But still people don't want to carry it around, so they'll just dump it wherever they can dump it, because they can't be bothered. That's a shame. Then the whole other side of the thing, and so this is actually both in Denmark and the Netherlands, but my dad is then this type of person who would, like, if he's driving somewhere, he spots the cans at the side of the road, because apparently chauffeurs seem to just throw them out of the window. He'll be like, oh, that's 15 cents. Oh, there's another 15 cents. And if he would be able to, he would likely even stop and pick it up and take it with him home, and then go hand it in at the recycling station and get 15 cents for it. Because point one, it's gone from the nature, and point two, he made 15 cents. Even though he may have had to stop to actually pick them up, but it's a bit funny. I remember many years ago, 2012 to be exact, I stayed for a month and a half at a place in Copenhagen for training purposes. But every second Sunday, the football team had a home match. The stadium was just distantly across the street. And I would then, after the home match had finished, basically go across the whole parking lot and I'll collect bottles worth like $10 and go cash them in. Because, I cleaned up after them basically. I felt good about cleaning the nature, and I got a bit of movement, and I got a little bit of money out of it. Fun fact. And actually, you will see a lot of homeless people also in Denmark. Not that you will see a lot of homeless people in general, but this is more like you will see homeless people in Denmark that scours like trash cans and so on to see if they might be able to find a bottle or a can where this where they can get money back by recycling. It's a recycling logo on it, because that helps them to get by. So it's a little bit of a fun fact. Da, da, da. So we are getting closer and closer to going back to the petrol color, because I only have like this much left with this one. That means a new row, and that means we can start on what I'm supposed to get done for the day, because after this row is finished, I need to do exactly one row a day for New Year's to have this finished on New Year's Eve. And I genuinely try to get it done before then, or at least be close. So that is pretty awesome that we can start on that. But as I mentioned, there's lots on the schedule, so the real catch-up will have to be this weekend and next weekend. Well, this weekend we do have a few hours where we'll go to my in-laws, but the same goes for next weekend after Christmas when we get home. We also made an appointment there. But hopefully it's going to be fine. So yeah, I think I'm just going to follow the plan and end this as how it's supposed to end according to the pattern. That means that I'm just from this here on and out, I'll just be following it slavically. Because here previously I did a longer row of this, which is navy, French navy. It's a blue one. Because else the French navy would have been shorter than the teal. And that felt so weird. Because it's increasing, like the rows are decreasing in size as we go out, because there's only one skein used from the color. The only one there's more skeins of is the cream white, which is the one I'm working now, which is basically the pattern in between that's going through, right? Which means the next row will then be the last row of petrol. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very slowly getting closer to be able to say that round 116 is complete. And that will be so nice when that's done. Try imagine like once this blanket is done, I'm gonna feel so empty-handed. Then we can start on a bunch of projects because plenty of time. I have all the projects that I've gone through in the advent calendar. And yeah, you know, we can do that. Be the next projects. One of them is technically already in progress. What are we left on? We are left on 4 single crochets, where the last one is always the technical one when I have these single crochets here. But we should be goody. And then, my friends, we need to connect. So we need to go into the beginning of the row stitch to pull up here to connect. And then we need to pull that down through. We carry it with us, so we'll flip it across. And then, my friends, we need to shortly start by inserting a stitch marker, flip the work around. We still have some ends I need to weave in, I know, but flip the work around here. And then I need to change, my goodness. You can see how big it is, you know, the center is still on my lap and no, it can't even be my screen here. So that is what I'm working with. So what we're gonna do, this is what I have left, more than plenty for another row. And then we're gonna grab teal and put on, but I just need to check that teal is indeed on top. No, it's not. No, it is. I have to say, this cake is a little bit iffy in the center. It's tendency of tangling a bit, so need to be careful. Could put it here, but it's just in the way when it's too close, to be honest. So we have teal ready to go. Then we'll let the cream hang until we get all the way around. This basically helps me to weave in less ends, and you do get this line where you can see that you have, but it's the back side, it's okay. I still have been debating if I need to cover the back side or if I'm gonna let it like it is. That, my friends, is undecided. Would you line it, the back side, or would you keep it as is? Meanwhile, we are ready to start around 117. Ta-da! Ding. We're missing this cheering sound. Oh my goodness. It would be nice if it's just a question of the software, but I don't know if it's the graphic card saying no thank you to the update. Might be. Okay, I need to start with a double crochet corner. So that is what we're doing. And then we need to have 4 double crochets. One there is there, and then I need another 3, which leaves me 1 short of what was in the single crochets of the previous row, because we have the corner to include as well. And then we have 6 single crochets, which is fitting with this piece plus the extra. Okay. Oh my goodness, you're making me hungry, Revenant. He says, was listening, but had to run off to make the salsa verde to get the chicken into the slow cooker. I want chicken in the slow cooker. Can I come along for dinner? Given the fact that dinner's probably cold when I'm going to arrive, but... And then I'm unsure if I'll actually even be able to enter the US after the recent changes because of Trump being like, we need to see your social media 5 years back to see if you said anything negatively. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'll be considered a nice enough person to get in. I don't know. Because, you know, let's face it, I've called him the angry-haired yellow man. We have an issue here. Oh, it's because I only did 5. 2 for 5. I need one more. 6. 2 for 6. Now it fits. So I don't know if I'll actually be physically able to enter the US as long as that rule is in place. Or if it's more used as a scary thing to scare people off. It's not like I've posted on Facebook that I'm against something, but you know, it's more a matter of thinking. Well, dinner is in 9 hours, so you if you get to the airport right now, you might get in time. I'm not so sure. I think let's just for funsies. Where would I fly to in Texas? Houston or Denver? Like, what would be the closest airport? Dallas. Dallas Fort Worth, I guess. Okay, we'll go to Dallas. That's an hour drive. Yeah, okay. So let's see if I can't even get a departure. Oh, it's because I needed to get a return ticket. Let's just say I'll go today and I'll try to get return on Sunday because, you know, when I'm there, it can be a few days, right? That's gonna be very optimistic because I need to have an hour to the airport and it's flying like 1640. Yeah, I won't reach that. I won't reach that. So I'm not gonna make it today, maybe. The problem is the only aircraft I can reach, I'll have a stopover with Air France in Paris, and I'll first be in Dallas tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let's say I had a direct flight. Well, actually, there are no direct flights. What's that bullcrap? Anyhow, the shortest stopover flight is with KLM, and that is a stopover in Atlanta. And that's still 14 hours. And not going to happen. But the thought was nice. Yeah, but I need 14 hours travel time alone because apparently there's no direct flight to Dallas from Amsterdam. I did not check if there was direct flight from Düsseldorf, but I don't think there is. It's what it is. There is nothing to do about it. I need, let's see, I just did 7 doubles here. 1, 2, yeah, 7. And then I'll do 5 singles. So yeah, I'll probably need a bit more heads up in advance to make like a crazy jump like that. And it's still gonna be like $1,000 each way because it's so close to departure time. Really sucks. I could probably fly for half if I would like order tickets 3 months in advance. Oh well. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, that's all of them. Fine. It could be worse, I guess, but yeah, no. Then we will have 2 here. Anyhow, I'm really happy that we got started on this row because that's technically the catch-up row of today. And I will definitely try to get this one done. Well, maybe not on the stream, but I'll definitely try to get this one done today. That would be in my best interests. But as I said, there's also a few things I need to get done. So it's gonna be prioritized after. Like, so we'll work on it for a bit, and then eventually I'll have to cook dinner for myself, for me and myself. And then after, I'll get some presents wrapped and stuff like that. Especially the presents that's gonna go to my better half before he gets home. And it's definitely not wrong to say I am slightly concerned if I bought the right size for him. But if I didn't, they can be traded for 6 for a smaller pair. Who would have thought? I'm feeling warm. I've been freezing all day, and now suddenly I'm like hot, which is probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Probably due to the fact that I'm having all these blankets on. Yeah, I'm genuinely. I think I'll need to trade them to a different size. But honestly, I'm just gonna let him fit them, and then he will tell me. Because see, the thing is, this exact same model, he has both sizes in the closet. So yeah. So then I don't know what, right? It's not, he's not making it easy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 fits. Because he's definitely not watching my streams. I'd be surprised if that was the case. But yeah, I'm genuinely concerned that I bought them too small. But as I said, he has both sizes in the closet. So if I did indeed buy them too small, maybe it's time to go through what he has and get the other recycled. The lady did say that they were large in the sizes though. So this is why I'm thinking they'll be fine. Ah, la, la, la. So we're here, I think. Oh my goodness. I need to be mindful. Okay. I just see there's lots of counting coming ahead. Oh. 233 stitches in each side now. You increase every row with 8 in total in the round. Now we are at 932, which is a fair bit around the clock of these stitches, especially with the counting. It does help once you have certain things, like when I have done a side, then the next 3 goes easier. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 fits. Good. Then I need to have 3 doubles, easy. And 5 singles is also easy. And then counting starts. Until now, it's been sort of easy. Easy peasy going. Two, 4, 5. And then it's like 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 3, etc. Right? Like, give me a break. With all the counting I need to do. Then we are on 4. And 1. Oh. So where should it double and not a half double, student? Let's just redo the whole stitch. It went funky. Then, of course, there's another one. That makes sense. Okay. I like when it's sort of sensible. Now the count becomes 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, that makes sense too. That's just the reverting. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, I hope everybody is making good progress on their own work in progress projects. Do you have multiple WIPs going on right now, or are you just preferring to have one at a time? What type of person are you? Normally, I would tend to have like 3 to 4 WIPs going. Right now, I technically only have 2. Well, actually, I do have 3, but the third one is just basically it's gonna be quote unquote the yarn will be recycled because I'm not gonna be finishing it and it's not frog friendly, so I'm just gonna probably say the end to it. And I'm fine with that, by the way. That's very important to note. It's been laying around and I haven't missed the project. And I should lose weight to be able to fit it, and I don't feel like just finishing it because I don't know how it's really gonna be looking on whoever would pick it up. And yeah, so I decided it's just gonna be in that sense. Let's see. Now we need to check here. Okay, so that's in the middle there. Okay, cool. Finished square 10 of the 25 last night. Will start square 11 at some point today, but not stressed about it. For the big blankets. Yeah, no need to stress about anything, right? It's not worth our lives to stress around. This is just me being like, no, I actually do have time to work on this, so I am going to work on this, because if I don't work on this, then I won't have it done on time. Well, it's kind of wrong to say not having it done on time, because this deadline is set by me and myself, right? Like, it's just me wanting to have it done, because that would have been exactly 2 years if I can have it done on New Year's Eve. It's been exactly 2 years, because it started on the New Year's Day, 2024. Boom. Think about that. That is a fair amount of time on one project. I have, though, slowly been working on it over time, but I've also had periods where I just didn't do something for like a month. They're 20-inch squares, so about 50 centimeters. It's 51 centimeters. It's a decent sized square, right? How big do you expect the blanket to be when done? Like, approximately? And will you crochet the squares together, or will you sew them together? I'm doing 5 by 5, so that's technically like 2.5 by 2.5 meters, approximately, or 100 by 100 inches. Sounds like a lot, but sounds nice, like a bedspread, or more like a blanket from the couch. I should be 3. Yeah, 3. It will be a queen-sized bedspread. Okay. This blanket is going to be smaller. It's probably more like 3 by 3 of your squares when done. It's just taking a crap lot longer, but that is because of the way this Mosaic crochet layers up. Because technically, I don't progress more than 1 single crochet every round. Because when I'm not overlaying it on the previous row with a double crochet, it's single crochets. So the previous row is just 1 single crochet lower, if that makes any sense. So yeah, Mosaic crochet is not something that can be done quickly. I have to say, the designer of this pattern, though, she seems to be able to crochet rather fast. I'm impressed. I will not try to copy that. I'm probably also fair to say I'm not necessarily a blanket crocheter person. Last time I did a blanket, I swore to myself that it would take a long time before I did another blanket, and here I am. But now I'll probably swear the same again. That will go a long time before I'll make another blanket, because it's been a while. And I'll be fine not making blankets for a while, but I'll probably make like a big shawl, right? That's gonna take a long time as well. I'm able to make one square a day without pushing too hard. Well, that's fine. Mosaic and niche and crochet are just very different beasts than making grinding squares. Oh, definitely. Definitely. It also kind of depends on the type of grinding squares. Like, is it grinding squares with a grinding stitch? Or are they a bit more modern grinding squares, right? Because the ones I made for the bag, so these ones, they are definitely taking a bit more time, but they're also a bit more airy in between. I need to do 3 more of these. 3 more. And then the majority is kind of done of the, then it's just about crocheting the bag together and stuffs. So I'll sew those pieces together in the round, and then you'll work a top and a bottom on each side of those. I'm going to join them with 2 single crochet, chain, 2 in the spaces. Okay. I never made a classic granny square blanket. Maybe you should one day then. Just for funsies. Oh, I will have to say, I think there's a benefit to for like doing all the squares and then sewing them together, because like what I'm doing right now, I can't do that. And that is a lot of blanket to sit with. So in the summer, technically you could make all the squares, and then in the winter you could sew them together or crochet them together. Because in summer I think it's too warm to sit with this. At least it is here where I live, and it's not exactly even super warm in Europe. But like in 26 degrees, you will want to sit with this blanket on your lap. Four, six, eight, nine. Then I'll probably, yeah, I need to do 3 double crochets, and then 5 single, and then, yeah, okay, cool. I've made a bunch of continuous granny blankets, but this is the first time joining squares. It's not difficult. You can crochet them together, obviously, and you can also option to sew them together. The nice thing with, for example, sewing them together using the mattress stitch is that you can really join them in a way where you can't see the yarn you're using to sew them together with. Downside is if you need to frog it. So before you're tightening in and ends off doing that, make definitely sure that you're adding the right sides to the right places, because else you are in trouble. I used the same yarn, the same color, which was really, really not good plan for last time I did it, because I sewed them wrongly together. Now, in the case of the coming granny squares, it's easy. It's just going to be 6 granny squares on the same, like after one another. And then I need to sew them, join them. So it's going to be like a band or belt. So that technically should not be able to go wrong. But me knowing me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. That's 2, 5, 2. Okay. Do. We are going well headstrong onto finishing this side of this last row of petrol. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Nice. Ta-ta. That should be 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. It is. Awesome. Sweet. Then we need to do 6 on the 4 doubles on the corner. Then it's turning time. I genuinely can't believe how far we have gotten. It's progressing nicely today. It's done a full round, technically speaking. From where we were with the white. Actually, it's cream, but still. Catching a little bit up. But we have more catch up to do to be no longer behind. Ideally, I'd like to be ahead before leaving for Christmas. And the corner. And I think I'll do those 4 double crochets before flipping this work around. because it just makes it a little bit easier. I'm working on them already, so to say. So I'll be fine. Actually, I could probably also just do those single crochets. Then we'll do another side. So that should be 2 for 6. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to detangle myself a little bit from this because it's warm. Who would have thought that I would say it's warm, given where I was earlier today? Earlier today, I was like freezing. And I mean, really freezing. Being like, oh my goodness. It's the weirdest body I have. We'll see if I start freezing before end of this row. I didn't do everything off, I just did a bit. Ding dong ding. 2 for 6. Need to do 7. Yeah. Don't forget to hydrate. And meanwhile, it is 4:26 p.m. here. And we have Lisa in the house. Good morning, Lisa, from the Great White North. I was just talking earlier today about that it's probably not going to be a white Christmas where I am this year. It's just going to be cold. But it does not look like it will be snowing. Or if it will be raining, well, if we're going to get downfall, it's going to be probably rain because it's too warm for snow, I think. It's a snow day here to totally, completely wiped out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can't do much about it. So I did 5. I need to do 3 and then the 9. Okay. So Lisa, we've done a whole round of cream. Well, I did start on the cream yesterday. So we just started off where I left off yesterday. I didn't reach to do anything else yesterday. I would have wanted to, but I didn't. This row is technically the row I need to have done by today to be on the do 1 row a day, and I'll be finished on New Year's. But as I said, I need to catch up this weekend, so I definitely need to do at least 2 extra rows on top, preferably more. I also have the yarns found that I need to cake up. Maybe if I have time tonight, I might cake them, else I'll do that tomorrow. That is not completely decided. And I ended up going live today rather than tomorrow because I realized I had so much more time today because the agenda got changed. Normally I would like close down now and prep to go to my in-laws, but the dinner at my in-laws got cancelled and moved to Saturday because my partner has something to do at work. So he's late home. So I'll only have to cook dinner for myself. And it's just going to be an easy dinner. I do have an asparagus soup that I need to heat up. And then I have 2, 4, 6. And the reason I do asparagus soup alone is because he doesn't need it. So it's something that's just more for me, and it's nice. And then I'll fry some veggies and fry 2 eggs to go along with it, and that's kind of my dinner. Christmas here is going to be an Arctic 27 degrees according to the 10-day forecast. Well, let's check the iPhone forecast for Christmas. Christmas Eve, it's going to be freezing in the night, misty, and 5 degrees over day. And that's Celsius, so that's positive. It's not freezing. And at my parents' place, it's going to be -1 degree night and 3 degrees over day and sunny. There is no downfall in sight except for Friday. Everything else is going to be dry. Dry and chill. I remember many years ago, this is like probably 25 years ago, we had a chill winter. It was like, I think we might have had also White Christmas, but it was freezing. And then it was snowing and it kept freezing. So next to my parents' place, there's a big lake. It's like, if you want to walk around it, it's like a 4-mile hike, which you don't just do because there's also like fields and shrub and all that stuff. But it's a pretty big lake. And it's also quite deep. One of my old playmates, her father always checked if the ice would be safe to skate on. And I remember that winter, especially during that period, like around New Year's and the first maybe week of January, it was still so cold that we could skate on it. And it had snowed, so there would be a layer of maybe, I don't know, 10 inches of snow on top at best. 5 to 10 inches, depending on where. So we would take the snow shovels and we would like move away the snow so we could actually skate on the ice that was underneath. It was a really, really nice winter. I remember it very well. It was, yeah. And somehow I didn't freeze back then. I don't know what changed, but now I just think about it. I'm like, oh my God, that must have been cold. Think about that as we change, as we grow older. But that was a really nice winter, actually, but it's 25 plus years ago. Because I think I've probably been around maybe at best 10. So, but it was actually quite nice. So we would like make paths to skate on and stuff like that. Blah. So we all have to go to Lisa for White Christmas. Christmas will be -11 degrees and snowing. Oh. Sorry, girl. Well, I guess it's nice and cozy, but at the same time, no thank you. It's going to be snowy in Winkler. Here it's been sunny here actually today. Now it's more like sun is setting, but right now no one is going anywhere here. Every road is closed. Yeah, logic. So you hope everybody who's coming for Christmas is living in walking distance. The weather conditions is currently mostly cloudy. Well, maybe, but I wouldn't say so. It's been sunny today, but temperature 54 degrees Fahrenheit or about 12 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from south-southeast at 30 miles per hour. The current humidity is 69. So that's basically here. It's pretty warm for the year, to be honest. That was the same when we were in Luxembourg last week. Luxembourg was warm, I say to you. I've never experienced it that warm ever before during this event, and it's always like the same week. So 9. In Winkler, the conditions are snowy, or snow shower, with a temperature of -2 degrees Celsius. Oh, sorry, Fahrenheit. So that's -19 degrees Celsius. My goodness, that's cold. The wind is blowing from north-northwest at 21 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 87. Oh, sorry, 78. Jesus, that's chilly. It's stronger. Yeah. So it's like a snowstorm, actually. They shouldn't say snow shower, it should say snowstorm. 2, 4, 6, 9. The weather in Waco, Texas right now is sunny. I'll take the sun, mate. With a temperature of 18 degrees Celsius. That sounds nice also. Wind is blowing from the west-southwest at 11 miles per hour, and the humidity is same as in England. It's a blizzard. Yeah. Well, I guess Nightbot can only say so much, right? Because here I wouldn't call it mostly cloudy because I can see blue sky. It's kind of getting dark, but I can see blue sky. Like, okay, so I need to do 3 doubles. So I'm definitely not always agreeing with the weather forecast either. And before you both joined, I think I had my Christmas present arrived. My Christmas present for myself, which is not yarn, and it's nothing to do with yarn or crocheting or knitting. It is for my rifle. I bought some stuff, some accessories. No, I did not get OBS working. You would see OBS would be working, or any other stream software, if I would have the overlay with my name down that corner. Reality is just, it's not. So I am streaming from the YouTube backend again today. I tried different streaming software, but they are basically collaborating with OBS, and I experienced similar issues when I was trying to make that to work earlier today, and that is why I got a few minutes later on than I had really intended, because I had to set up a new stream and I had to reboot the computer. So I don't know if it's, it could be the graphic card on my computer that's now too old. You know, sometimes, I don't know if that's for Android, but I don't know for iPhone. At some stage, you eventually cannot upgrade to the newest iOS because the processor cards and stuff can't handle it. And maybe it's similar for this. I don't know. Like, had I known this would have happened with the last update, I would not have updated. Trust me, but it just prompts you to say, there's a new update. Do you want to update? I'm like, yeah, let's get it done. Instead, I should have not touched it. I should actually go Google to see if others have similar issues, because if they do, then it's definitely due to something they did. I also did uninstall it and reinstall it, and it did not help. It still wants to crash my computer. I can't download the previous version. That is my issue. By the looks of it. If I could, that would definitely be the solution. Goodness, blanket is kind of dropping on the floor almost. And now it's tangling to my shirt. It's huge, my friends. It's huge. We're almost at the center of this row. I keep calling it a row, but technically it's a side. I'm going to finish the side, and then I think I'm going to give it a look to see if others have similar issues, because now it's kind of like been a day, right? Do I have a version of it? Like, do I have informations? Maybe. Details. Owner. No. Earlier versions. Yes, I see an earlier version, but that's like a long, long time ago. I could maybe restore this. Ooh. Looking on the date, this is almost like the first time I ever installed it, maybe, or maybe not completely, but it feels like it. I may try to restore that, but that's not going to be now. Yeah, so the AI quick search says, when OBS crashes after updates, it's often stemmed from outdated graphic card drivers conflicting with plugins, corrupted scene files, or system resource issues, which is definitely a possibility because my computer really goes in overdrive when it streams. It gets really warm, and now it's kind of not. So that could definitely be. That could definitely be my graphic card. I wouldn't be surprised if that's really the case, because my computer is old. I need a new one. I need a new computer. But we knew that. I've known that for half a year. We've just been postponing and postponing and postponing. In the new year, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 3. So my thinking is that my issue is probably my graphic card, and I can't just fix that because I can't improve it. And as I said, if I unplug my power, I think I'm told that's not much, because the thing is, my laptop was fully charged. I packed it down to bring with me like Monday evening before we went to Luxembourg, right? Like after dinner, I packed it down and everything ready so we could go. And I needed it Thursday morning, and it's just been powered off in my backpack from Monday evening to Thursday morning, and it had no power left. But it was fully charged before I left. That tells me, my friends, that it's definitely not good. Let's see, what did we do here? 2, 9, 3. Goodness, I need to find this place. What did I do the previous row? I did 5, but I can't do, I need to do 2. I think 2, 4, yes. That is where I am at 2, 4, 1, etc. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a technical issue I can't fix without getting a new computer, to be honest. That's my suspicion. But what I am gonna do, I see that I am able to reinstall an older version, but that is from a year ago. I may try to do that to see if that version will not crash. Yeah, exactly. Rona says here that laptops are really never worth upgrading. Everything is so compact that the cost of getting a new component and getting it installed is generally more expensive than getting a whole new unit. So the installing aspect and so on, I'm not too afraid of. I do have a quite technical partner, but I don't think it's worth it either in that sense. So it will be a fine laptop as long as it's powered on to power, and I can use it for, like, there are a few things I can easily use it for, which is practically enough for me. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. Is my assumption. So I did 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, in the middle here, then 3. Okay. So I have just accepted the fact that I'm doomed to getting a new one, and that's just how it is. Every so often I need to get new ones because they wear out, usually every 5 years approximately. I do use it a lot also, so it's fair enough, it happens. So I'm genuinely gonna look at, I need as much power as possible, squeezed down to as little room as possible, as light as possible, because I bring it with me, right? I have it in my backpack, and I actually have 2 computers in my backpack these days when I'm traveling to Denmark, because I bring work with me too. So it cannot be too heavy, neither too big. I'm probably looking for like a 14-inch. I currently have an Asus, and I think I'm probably gonna stick to Asus, but unless there's another better option out there. I've been quite happy with Asus in general, except until, well, right now it seems to be giving up a little bit. I need to make sure that I do definitely get a decent graphic card and a good working memory. And then from there on, it's kind of like, we'll be fine. When I got my current phone, I did option to go for the size larger storage than what I did the time before, because that ended up being on the small side of things. Now I think that's not going to be the case, or it's going to be close towards the end of its lifetime. So let's see. There we are. There we are. Then it's 5. I may actually even try that later today to see if, my computer could recover the old OBS if it works. When I'm cooking dinner. And then I'll just ignore any updates about, please update me. I'm being like, nope, I'm not updating until I have a new computer. Would that work? Maybe. Who knows? It would be nice, though, if it worked like that, because then that is sorting a headache. Because I really miss my... I do feel when I'm streaming here, it feels weird not having it, because I can easily switch through the scenes, you know. We can do inspirational stuff, and I can flip back up with my head and stuff like that. Exactly, might as well try. So the thing is, right now, one thing I know for sure is I'm probably gonna do back end YouTube streaming like I'm doing right now until I have a new computer, unless it is generally the hardware. That is absolutely valid, Lisa, and that's absolutely valid idea. I replaced my iPhone 11 Pro last winter or last autumn when the new iPhone came out. So what do I have now? 15 Pro or something like that? I don't know. But that was an 11, and I had it for since COVID, so 4 years approximately. So my iPhones tend to live for about 4 years. Then they're worn out, and the battery is like, I'm struggling keeping alive for more than X time. That's usually when it's time for me to replace them. My iPad, magically enough, still updates and still runs without the biggest issue. I did get a Pro back then as well. But let's see, what do I want here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and then I need to do 2 double crochets. So that's actually still working, but at some stage it will also stop updating, and then I'll need to get a new one. But the phone, I don't like to be reliant on a power bank on a daily basis. And since I use my phone to receive payments as well for when I'm away with my business, for example, I need to be able to access it 2, 4, 6. So I need something that I don't need to power on every time I use it for one payment. Well, that's why I got the last one, and now I got this one due to kind of like almost the same issues, except I did get it a little bit quicker compared to, I could maybe have squeezed a little bit more lifetime out of the other one. But then I was like, it's not going to last another year. It could maybe last half a year, but it's not going to improve what I can get, and then I'll just get what I got. What I should have done was recycling the old one back to the system, which I didn't do. I should have done that. That would have probably yielded more than it just being where it is. But that I know for next time. That is purchase back system recycling system, which I probably should have used. Wasn't a too bad idea. It's definitely Christmas alike when you hear the Spanish Feliz Navidad. Oh, who made that song? I should know that. Jose Feliciano. I would not have known that. Thought I would have known it, but I just know the song is popular and famous. But nope, I wouldn't have been able to name the singer. Meanwhile, we are cracking on here. would say we're doing well. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm actually sort of inclined to make a little push here. It depends on my stomach a little bit, because eventually it's going to be hungry. But I may try to see if I can finish this row of teal. But that's another 2 sides. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Ricky Valens did the most popular version of the Feliz Navidad. Okay. I should go probably find it. So I admit I just throw on a playlist on Spotify with Christmas songs. And that's what I'm listening to. Boney M is the most popular here. Okay. In Denmark, there was a really long period where they played the Wham version. You know, Wham with oh Jesus, what it's called? It was a Wham. Yeah, Last Christmas with Wham. Now I have Pentatonics with Mary, Did You Know? Who knows if Mary knew? But in Denmark, that Last Christmas with Wham was extremely popular for a long period of time. And it still gets played, like on the radio. I will be surprised if I don't hear it at least once on the radio in the car there. They are great. Good question. Pentatonics. Do they classify themselves as a group or a band? Pentatonics. Let's see what Google says. They call themselves a cappella group. And you should know them given that they're from Texas. But a cappella group. Not a band, a cappella group. But they have made some really nice music for sure. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Hold on, I got a thing for you. Okay. I'm holding on. Well, I'm trying to make a home run here, thinking maybe if we are good, we in 1 hour could do the last 2 sides. And if that's possible, you know, that would be awesome. Because technically then teal's done. The Gloucestershire Vassal, the longest Johns. I'm just going to pause that to listen to the next, except I'll have ads first, so I'll just first listen to the ads. Awesome. That's a little bit like bad. It reminds me a bit about the what's it called? Oh. What is it called? It's called something specific. I need to see if I can find it. The Wellerman song is what the one I was looking for. The Wellerman song. It's by Nathan Evans, and it's called The Wellerman by Shishan or Shishanti. The same rhythm is in it. So the Wellerman song is, it has, and the thing is, it's not so much the lyrics, it's just the beat is so catchy. If that makes sense. The beat is super catchy, and that's what's getting you. It's not so much necessarily the lyrics. And if we are to go a complete different alley when it comes to music, a song that's really kind of touched me also when it comes to lyrics and the concept of it is actually an American band as well. And I guess they claim to be a heavy metal band, but it's by Godsmack, and it is called Unforgettable, the lyrics or the song, and that is beautiful. Especially if you find the official video on YouTube. It's absolutely freaking gorgeous. 4, 6, 7. It's just beautiful. It says something about what music does to a person. You know, it touches you in a way. And I think, it's been something that's been with us for generations and generations of many thousands of years. And it still touches and moves us, specific sounds. And which sounds that moves us has changed over the years, but it makes it all sort of come together. And what that means to you and what that means to me is different, but the concept is the same, if that makes any sense. 2, 4, 5. And the corner finished. And we'll need the 4 double crochets. Then we can flip this work around. And that, my friends, is normally where I would end the stream, but I still have tea. So I'm suggesting that we're gonna go on for a bit, at least. think about, oh my goodness, don't spin so fast on me. Because if I could get this row completely finished now, then any other thing I do today is kind of catch up for tomorrow. And I don't know how much time I'll have, but you know, I'll do this and I'll get dinner done. And I'll check how much time I have before my meeting, but I also need to wrap up some presents. So I don't actually know how much time I'll have later today, but I think it's a really nice idea if I could get this completely done, because then I have 12 rows left. And tomorrow, it's 19th of December, and tomorrow is 12 days left of the year. So that's the idea, I would say. 2, 4, 6. So I think that's what I'm gonna do to see if we can finish this one off. And it is possible because of the simple reality that that my partner is not coming home for dinner, so I don't need to stop now to make dinner. I can delay dinner a little bit. I am though gonna eat on my own. The benefit, of course, is that I can eat things that I normally wouldn't get. So normally I would make like a rice porridge or something like that now. But since I know I'm gonna have that when we get closer to Christmas, I'm not gonna do that either. 2, 4, 6, 7. So instead, I'm gonna try to see if we can get this so yeah, it would be nice if we can make that happen. I can also see on the yarn that I'll plenty enough left if I wanted to increase this for one more row. But I don't, because it fits with everybody having 4 from here to the end. Talked about earlier today that I think the rest of this I'll just go as it's supposed to, because I'm unsure how I would add an edge. And if I would that be more logic to do that in white, cream? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I have an idea of how that could maybe work. 4, 6, 8, 9. But that's going to be like then one more row. It's in the thought list. I'll have to see. That said, once this round is fully complete, then it will definitely be the end. because my tummy is already telling me it's slowly getting hungry. Dinner is a quick make though. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Lisa says she's not sure what she's making for dinner today. Well, my dinner is been decided. I am gonna do an asparagus soup. It's like a creamy soup. It's like pre-made already, so I just need to heat it. And then to kind of fill up the rest, I will fry a few veggies, like some mixed veggies. I have some carrots, I have some onions, I have still some mushrooms. I do think I also have some edamame beans. I'll throw that and stir fry them, combined with like probably two fried eggs, is what I'm thinking. Ramen just a great yogurt for breakfast. That doesn't sound bad either. I just had bread for lunch. But I think that is probably gonna be my dinner. But it could also be that I don't do the veggies if I feel full enough after the asparagus soup. I only do asparagus soup when I'm alone because my partner doesn't like it. I think it's a waste because it's nice. So yeah, so since I'm home alone, I can eat it. That's nice. Swedish meatballs. Köttbullar. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I don't know what's for dinner tomorrow, but I do know that we are heading off to a restaurant for Christmas lunch dinner, and it's a newer one for us. So I don't know what's up. We'll see. I just hope it tastes good. My son just brought me breakfast. He made me coffee and put a marshmallow in it. Oh, that's cute. I picked up lunch Monday, so I was working and my partner got home. So he was working at home, but he got home from the fitness and he was like, wanting to grab some food. And I was like, I'm getting hungry and I know there's like not really much to eat. So I looked at him and said like, honey, I was thinking on picking up some fresh breads from the bakery. And he was like, oh, honey, sounds like a great idea. I'll wait having my lunch then until you're back home. Here's the keys to the car. And I went fetching fresh breads from the bakery and some other groceries. 4, 6, 8, 9. think this is where we do 3, 5, 2. Yeah. Yes, we're almost at the center again. That goes so quickly. That means we're 414. I definitely also feel when I'm done with this full row, it's time for a break. But we still need 1.5 side. So that is the goal of today. And then if I have time later, I can still continue. But it is not necessary. Be keen to weigh up this yarn actually afterwards for funsies. Tomorrow's dinner is either leftover from this braised chicken, or if it gets eaten up at the party, we'll just grab something. Sometimes easy dinner is the best dinner. Yesterday was easy dinner here. Also, I'm kind of out of potatoes and I don't want to buy any before going to Denmark. If I don't have to, then I'll figure out alternatives. I'm expecting I made way too much. I'll have a few days worth of it. That's not too bad. I had the feeling somebody was flashing a light, but I don't think they were. Could just be coincidence. Want to shut the curtains, but I'm also too lazy to get up to do it until I'm done with this, because it takes so much effort to sit down with this project. Braising chicken and homemade word salsa. Oh, I'm so hungry. We were invited. Revenant said there was more than enough to go around, so we were more than welcome to come. And I was checking flight times and everything, but the party's kind of finished before I get there, so that sucks. I put 2 jalapenos and I reserved 1 slice up for people that want more heat. I'll skip the heat. Unless you want me visiting the local toilet for hours. My stomach generally don't handle heat very well. Maybe it's my mouth, I don't know, but so too hot is not me. So that was it. And then we need 2. And 5. Lisa's strolling and she loves the heat. So reserve your flight ticket. It's you need to fly into Dallas. And it's warmer than where you are right now. Another win-win. A good meal. It's warmer. Yay. I'll go slice up a bunch of limes to squeeze over the tacos. That sounds nice on the other hand. Got the Mexican cremia and some cheese. Lisa says she's out on January 10th. Are you flying straight to Barcelona then? Or do you go to Mexico first? I want to go too. But it's not happening anytime soon. Not for somewhere warm, at least. Mexico first for 3 weeks, back home for 2 weeks, and then Barcelona. Okay, so Barcelona's in February, like-ish. Sounds nice still. Charlie, I'd love some vacation. Barcelona is February 13th. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Barcelona is a gorgeous city. It's worth your while. And still, the fact that there's a yarn store so close to Sagrada de Familia. And they should have the Katia yarns, so good luck finding some. And they have some really, really gorgeous Katia yarns. They do. I have their, it's like a cotton cashmere blend, which is really nice and soft. Mexico isn't vacation, it's a mission trip, so we'll be working. Yeah, well. Yeah, I get it. My trip to Luxembourg wasn't vacation either, that was work. It was vacation for my day-to-day job. But it wasn't like vacation. So yeah, I can relate, I guess. We still had Croatia in the planning at some stage here, but that would be like a road trip-ish thing. We also need to look at a new car next year. Or I should say, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. My partner is getting a new car from his boss, a new company car. So we need to look at what not. But that's just sometimes 2026. So I need to make a decision on that. Of course, there's a price limitation. And then the question is if he wants to transition to electric or if we stay with the gasoline. If we do stay with the regular gasoline, this would be the last year we can get it with a certain set of pricings, because next year, if you buy company car, not next year, but in 2027, you'll get taxed higher if it's not an electric car, basically. Very happy for my hubby. His last guy just finished working on the construction site yesterday. In this weather, sounds cold. But yeah, I'm glad to hear he's done for the season. I guess his employees also get a long vacation or not? Like a long winter vacation, because you can't really do much construction-wise when it's this cold. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Normally, I'd probably get like vacation tomorrow back when I was still at school. Like, I'm missing those years. No one is working here anywhere today. Most of the factories have closed. Okay, for Christmas, regardless of the snow, like, take the blizzard out of the equation. Like, because of the location or date of Christmas, then sometimes in Denmark they would not go to school on Monday. Because in Denmark and Scandinavia, we celebrate Christmas on the 24th. The blizzard is why, yeah, okay. But if the blizzard wasn't there, people would still be working, but also for construction. Mm, there are some not very smart companies that work construction all winter. Yeah, that doesn't sound very nice. Also, not for the employees. That's so cold outside. And depending on what type of construction, I guess some of it is not clever in that weather at all. But what you often see in Denmark is like construction companies. Some of them would also have like a winter side hustle, like salting roads and stuff like that. Yeah, storage machines. I can imagine. And we are at the corner, my friends, and it's not even half yet. Yeah, I'm optimistic we can have the other one done in another half hour. Woo-hoo. If we don't get too distracted. I just need to turn the work around again, because else it's gonna be, yeah, it kind of piles up on the side when I work across. But this is literally like I'm having a full blanket on. I swear to you. That's a full extra blanket. Well, I opened the other blanket. I ended up just sitting on it, not having it wrapped around me because it's too warm. Too warm. Yeah, I know I should close this. Yeah, so here we are cracking on the last side of probably the last row of teal, but honestly, look at how much yarn I still have left. Of course, valid to say, I was supposed to do an extra row, which I ended up doing in French Navy, but that was because it seemed more logic due to, you know, we talked about it, right? Like the rows keep size-wise decreasing. We have like 5, 5. There's also 5, but the pattern only said 4. And I ended up doing 5. Now I'm just doing 4. So I kind of flipped it around. And the next 2 green rows is just going to be 4 as well. Well, it's what it is. Still going to consider it a used skein because I don't know what else to make from it. As I said, once I'm done, I still have all the scraps of this yarn, and I'll make a scrap beanie mixed with the colors. I'll double strand these yarns, and I'll make some scrap beanies from it. That is the plan. Da, 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 da. So we are on to the last side of teal, unless I make a new decision tonight, but I'll need to do math. Like I'll need to check how much yarn I have left. Do I think I can do another row? There will need to be at least more than a quarter left. A quarter left would be working. Anything less would probably not be enough. And then if I do, I need to make sure I can maybe, because then I'll probably have yarn enough to make some sort of more solid border around, because else the border will be more like this, which could be solid enough actually. Yeah. Next row would be nice actually. I have an idea, but I can't test that out now. And I think there might be yarn enough for it as well, but yeah. As I said, it's me on the thinking state. And me wanting to sort of close it up. But yeah, it's on the thinking. Then we need to do 3. And another 9. Favorite pastime annoying the teenager. What are you pestering him with? Is he going with on vacation, by the way, where he gets to stay at home, go to school? But I think many parents like to annoy their kids, to be honest. He's going to Spain, staying home from Mexico. Was singing Africa by Toto. Okay. Africa. I'm not recommending you to listen to me singing because honestly, I don't have the best singing voice. I definitely don't have the best singing voice. But that's also me knowing my skills. A thing is not amongst my skills. I don't mind singing when I'm alone, or if I'm alone in the car and I have to drive, I can definitely put music on and sing to it. But it also kind of helps me keeping a bit alert and awake because I'm actively doing something than just sitting in silence. So yeah, I would be one of those ladies that you will see screaming in the car, singing, being like, yeah, if I'm alone. Yep. And it's a long distance drive, also valid to say, like an hour plus. Then I would definitely sing. Oh, Lisa says, oh, you and I both happy that you didn't hear me sing either. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the secret sauce. Don't sing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We are good at it on our own, but not so good with public, I'm sure. So the real thing here is that normally I would then cut the yarn, but I think I'm going to wait doing that. And then I am going to check if the idea I have in mind could work and calculate yarn weight, like how much yarn I have left. Roland says, my sing is fine. It's just your ears that needs tuning. Oh my goodness. That is my next excuse for when people complain about my singing voice. That's wonderful. It's like when I confront my partner saying, hey, you snore, honey. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard it. Ooh. Yarn split. But it's sorted meanwhile. We are halfway officially on this last side. I'll crack this one off before 6 p.m. Then, my friends, it's time for me to, once we get there, we'll nicely say goodbye and Merry Christmas and all that shizzle, because the reality is that I need to get some food. If I would have been home this year for Christmas, we would probably have had one more stream. But I'm not home for Christmas, so it's not happening. Oh goodness, this yarn is really tangly me up. I need one more. We need 5 singles. But yeah, I hope you're gonna have a wonderful vacation. Well, that was too early. I just needed 4. Unraveled 1 stitch. Now I need the 5. And then, as I said, I'll definitely be live once between Christmas and New Year's. I just don't know yet if it'll be Monday or Tuesday, or it could be both. So that's like the week after next, a week and a half. But until then, I do have a few other things coming up for you guys, hot and rock solid, on the channel, because I am making a little short movie, not going to be long, about the Christmas presents that I've crafted this year. But I'm first going to post that on after they unwrapped it, so probably second day of Christmas. And it could be I do it on the first day, but I think I'll do it on the second, just to make sure. And then I have a little surprise one coming up, and then we'll have the lives. And then we are in January and I'll need to do a summary. Did I manage to decrease my stash? And that is a multi-million-dollar question. Did I manage to decrease my stash in 2025? I personally don't know yet because I've not done the math yet. I have some short math, like I have a summary, I've kept writing it down and stuff like that. But it's not conclusive. Then in the new year, we'll have we'll go through my stash so we can get it sorted and added to Ravelry. And then we are gonna try to calculate how many years of yarn consumption I have based on my last 2 years of yarn consumption, like the amount of yarns I've used for crafting and whatnot. And then we'll see how many years of crafting I have. Maybe it's not too bad, maybe I live to be 100. Or I realize I need to trade some off, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. Of course, maybe at some stage I may have more time available in my hands as well, right? Because at some stage I should retire. But looking at the current plannings, it looks like that's going to be another 30 years. But I genuinely hope I can retire before another 30 years, like 20-ish would be nice. 2, 4, 6, 8. I need one more. Revenant says my stitch group has a SWOLM count, which means stash will outlive me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I'm probably in the same situation, to be honest. That's my feeling, that I am probably in a similar situation. Genuinely. And I guess that's all right. 2, 4, 5. But I'm trying to hopefully have that help me control my need to buy. A lot of the yarn I have is cakes. Like I have a lot of cake yarn. No, Sina, what are you doing? You have one stitch too many. Don't make extras. Frog. Now he brought me a coffee with hot chocolate in it. You are really getting spoiled, Lisa, today. Or is he trying to prevent you pestering him? I have chocolate in my cupboard, and I do chocolate, but I don't do coffee. I'll just do tea, but I wouldn't do tea and chocolate. That sounds not nice. He's trying to keep you working on his cardigan. Well, that's a clever input then, actually. He's a clever boy. Yeah. We are closing up on this. So as I said, this is my last live before Christmas. Due to the simple fact that life is going to require too much of me, and I need to make sure I'm ready for everything. We'll leave Tuesday. And I'm probably gonna break it off for when I'm back home. I am gonna bring some projects, but I don't know how much I'll get crafted. In the car, I'm probably gonna do some when it's light enough to do it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. But I'm not gonna craft too much unless it's okay. Like literally 2 years ago, my partner complained that I was boring because I was only crocheting. Also at the family place and so on. So that is the plan of not doing that this year. So that's the goal. But I can't do it in the car, and I can't do it when we're not like social. 2, 4, 5. I definitely need something in the car. I also think I'll go crackers. No, else it's ending up me being me and my phone the whole way, which is not ideal either. Or well, I have to drive some of it, but you know. And when I am crafting, I can easily chit chat like you see I'm doing it right now. I am being present, absolutely. It's probably normal for us crafters to have this stash will outlive me concept. But we're also a little bit back on the 2, 4, 6. I do believe it's 6. It is. That, you know, when I do retire, I'm likely to have more time on my hands. Or it could also be that I lose my job before then. I hope not, but you never know. You know, it is also an ever-evolving market that I'm working in. So it's definitely possible for me to, at some stage, end up unemployed. I hope not, but and in any case, my contract will expire next year on 30th of November. And then it's time for me to either be told that I'm not going to get it renewed, or I'll get a permanent contract, which is going to be absolutely freaking amazing if that happens. And if they want to permanent it, I would be a very happy woman. Because honestly, I'm actually pretty okay paid for the amount of work I do. And then, my friends, with this stitch, we are now ready to start row 118. So we finished row 116 that we had done a bit more than a side on, plus the full row of 117. And this is live. If you want to see a bit how it's looking, that, my friends, would be it. It is gorgeous and it is growing. So where Speed Boy to me, he treats me a lot. That's nice. It's called stable, a stash beyond life expectancy. Yeah, that's also a possibility. I saw also a word, but it could have been stable. I don't know. Give me a moment to see if I can actually find that word. Meanwhile, actually, we could put me up to my pretty face and default it to make it a bit lighter. Where would I have this? Here, maybe? No. I did write it down somewhere. I just don't remember where I wrote it down. That could have been stable. No, I know as sable. So not stable. It's called stash acquisition beyond life expectancy. So that's sable. S-A-B-L-E. So that is also a thing. That is probably what I have. But we don't know yet. We'll know next year. Sometime next year when I'm done stashing everything in Ravelry, because then I have counts and metrics and everything. We'll know next year if I'm sable or not. I'm probably sable. Expecting I'm sable. We are going to fold this big fella. At least if I succeed doing that. I should. But it's not completely collaborating on the inside. There. This, my friends, is everything folded up a couple of times. And that is going to be like this for at least the next hour or two. And then I may start on the crane next piece, but I have a few things I really need to do first. Plus, I need to prep for a meeting. So I'm going to basically prepare to cook dinner for myself. Then I'll have dinner. I'll check how much time I have until my meeting. And then I get some presents, wraps, and so on. And if I have time over, I'll crochet some more today. But I finished what I definitely did need to get done today, because now I have 12 rows left. And tomorrow there's 12 days until New Year's. Technically, we should be able to do it. But I will need to push. So let's hope that on New Year's Eve I can reveal, done, complete, sweet. That's my hope and goal. As I said, I am not going to be around for another live until after Christmas. I'm expecting, I'm not completely decided on the planning aspect yet, but I will be live on either the 29th or the 30th of December. It could also be that I do both. It kind of depends on my schedule and everything, because on the 29th, I'm back from the Christmas vacation and work could be busy. So I need to be mindful of that. But if it goes smoother than expected, I'll probably go live, unless anything else happens. Else, in worst case, I will definitely be around Tuesday. Normally I would be live on Wednesday, but since it is New Year's Eve and we are getting my in-laws here and visit, I have to work, but I also want to make sure we have a nice dinner. I'm not going to go live because I just simply don't have the time for it. And then the question is if I'm ready for Yarn Talk video on Friday the 2nd, or if we'll go live, but we'll check that after Christmas. I think that is the best plan for right now. We are heading into the Christmas period. I am wishing everybody an absolutely wonderful Christmas. I hope you get to spend lots of good time with your family and loved ones. Make great memories and appreciate the time you have as long as it lasts. Yeah, so I just generally hope you get some great celebration on holidays. That's pretty much it from here on. I'm going to say happy crafting until I see you again, and thank you so much for watching, and thank you for the likes and support. I love you all so much. Merry Christmas from me to you. Bye.